Hello, hello. Hey there, Margarita here. Welcome to the Rise Up with Margarita show. And so every week on Monday at 2 p.m., I cover a different topic that really helps light workers rise up into the next level of their power because we are all being called to rise higher in terms of service. And so I'm here to help you do that. And so today's topic is how to know if you're connected to your purpose. And I'm also going to have a really special announcement that I've been kind of hinting at on social media last week, and I'm going to share that announcement with you later. But first of all, if we haven't met yet, my name is Margarita Alcantara. I am a keeper of the blue flame, an activator for the new code of power, and I also do carry the consciousness of oneness codes. And I activate the conscious, spiritually conscious leaders who are entrepreneurs on this planet to step in to the next level of their power so they can make a deep impact in the world. So, welcome, welcome. And so I'm just going to get right into it as to even why this topic is so relevant and important for us, right? Because the topic today is, if you're just popping in, and I'm seeing some folks pop in, how to know if you're connected with your purpose. So the reason why I even wanted to do this topic in the first place is because there are a lot of light workers who've been coming to me. Either, some are more seasoned and already know they're a light worker, and just kind of want to get some clarity around their path. Some are new to being a light worker, and the truth is, this planetary awakening has really awakened a lot of light workers onto their path, their spiritual path, for the first time. And so I've been fielding a lot of these questions about, well, what is a light worker? How do I know I am one? What's my purpose and all that stuff? And I'm just going to put it out there right in the front that it's not for me to tell you what your purpose is. That's not something I'm able to tell you, because you have that information within you, and all you get to do is to really connect with your higher self around that, and you will get that information because it's already within you. That's the juicy part about all this. So suffice to say, hi Christine, glad you're here as well. Let's see who else is here. Christine's here. Spiritually Fit is here. Healing Touch Pagosa is here. Eva's here. Hello. Healing Healing Motherhood. That's what that said. Tasha, hey there, Tasha. So today's topic being how to know if you're connected to your purpose. There are so many levels to this, right? And I see some folks here. Also, Jen and Baganero is here too on Facebook. And M. Sebijan is here on Instagram. So the reason why is, as I said, a lot of light workers are stepping up to the plate now. They're awakening, first of all. And when you first awaken, it becomes, oh my God, I'm realizing I have this big purpose. Now what? Right? And then sometimes it's, well, what does that purpose even look like? And so, as I mentioned, that's not something that I can do for you because that's an inside job. But what I can share with you is what a light worker, and I'm looking at some of my notes here to make sure I'm on point with you guys, for you guys here, is I'm going to share with you what your light worker purpose is not, what your light worker purpose is connected to, and what it can look like to be a light worker. Because that's even another question too, is, well, what does that even look like? What does it look like for me to be a light worker? I mean, does it look a certain way? And so I'll share a little bit about that, and also my 3 steps on how to connect with it. So I'll be sharing that with you too. So good to see everyone here. So first of all, when it comes to your light worker purpose, it is not just simply love and light, right? That is kind of part of the equation, but that's not the purpose. I guess technically and metaphysically it is, right? But it's not just simply love and light. And so that's something that I wanted to put out there around that. Another thing that your light worker purpose is not, it's not just about, oh, okay, I'm here to help people, or okay, I'm here to heal people, right? All light workers are here to help people, to heal people, right? So that's not specifically your purpose. That's kind of a generalization that's still very vague, and that's very common to have that kind of understanding or perception when you're first starting out. But it's not only just helping people or healing people, it's a specific thing. And I'll get back into that specifically as well. And also, your light worker purpose is not your day job, unless your day job is directly correlated to what your purpose is. Because usually what I've noticed is that a lot of light workers who know they're here for something big is that they feel like, oh, well, it's probably my day job. But, at the same time, they're telling me that they hate their day job, right? And and I'm not going to say that that is the case across the board, but a lot of times what I've noticed is that when light workers first awaken into their purpose, they start to see things around in their life that is not aligned with them. And they start to realize, oh, this is not aligned with me, or I don't like this, or I no longer resonate or feel okay about being in the situation, right? Because when you awaken into your spiritual journey, that's one of the first things that you become aware of is what is aligned or what is not. And you will get a very specific, maybe even I'll just say dramatic response to the things that don't resonate with you, right? Like that will be very evident to you, and it'll literally be like someone raking nails on a chalkboard to you at a certain point. So those are some of the ways that your light worker purpose is not. Here are some of the ways your light worker purpose is. So it is something you can ask your higher self about. And what I mean by that is that your higher self is that aspect of you that is proximal to God, right? And so as a result, it is really, really close to your God self and your divine understanding of yourself as a God being, right? So when you just engage your higher self, and I'll talk about that in a little bit about some steps around how to do that, then you can really open up into the fullness of your embodiment, because when you engage with your higher self, you actually engage with your power, engage with your abilities, engage with whatever it is that you require so that you can expand and rise up in your power. So I hope that makes sense. Another way that you can know what your light worker purpose is that it is the specific impact for humanity that you're meant to make. Okay, so that's so important to understand, is that it's not just this vague love and light thing. It's not this vague, I'm here to heal people or help people, right? Because all light workers are here for that. We're all down for that. But your purpose is specific. Your purpose is a specific impact for humanity, for this planet that you're meant to make. So that's the discerning factor here. In addition, your light worker purpose is aligned with your heart. It is aligned with your heart. And that's why I'm always talking about connecting with your heart, because that is where your power is. And it's old programming to believe that connecting with your heart makes you weak, right? And I know that some light workers feel like that programming is alive for them. But the truth is that you being connected to your heart makes you really, really strong. It's how you connect with your power and connect with your purpose, and also how to embody your purpose. That's how you embody your purpose. You allow your heart to speak. You allow yourself to go into that dream space of your heart space so that you can make it happen, right? Because dreams don't happen unless you're tapped into your heart, in touch with what your heart holds, and allowing yourself to listen to your heart, right? Because if you've got blockages and you got all these things around betrayal and victimhood and blah, 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 all that stuff going on in the heart, that will block you from accessing the potential of your heart intelligence, because your heart actually contains an intelligence. It actually contains a light technology that for many light workers is now coming online. And I don't mean like online, like on the internet. I'm talking about online, like in terms of becoming active in your physical system on the DNA level, because that's what we're really talking about, is that, a lot of the perceptions of what being a light worker is very old, and we're actually opening up into the new capacity that we have as light workers to access our power. And so that's why all of this is really aligned with your heart's desire, and why it's so important for you to connect with your heart so that you can make that happen. Because if you are not connected with your heart, and that's why I'm always asking light workers who hop on calls with me, are you connected with your heart power? Because that is important, and I would say vital to you being connected to your purpose. Because if you're not connected to your heart, you're not connected with your purpose. So that is really important. You're aligned with your heart's desire. Another aspect of knowing what your light worker purpose is, it is connected to your soul mission. So every light worker, like I said before, has a very specific purpose and impact for humanity that you're meant to have. And it is connected to your soul's destiny, that literally before you even incarnated on this planet, you're out there, being this light being, and you're like, wow, I know that, I am here to provide XYZ in the world, right? And when you allow yourself to open into that, then you really open into that mission of yours, and you start to embody your destiny, because your soul's mission and your soul's frequency, when activated, when awakened within your heart, becomes an embodiment of your soul mission when you step forward and take action and show up in a bigger way and really rise up in that higher way, right? It doesn't activate. I'm seeing some comments here. Yeah, Christine is saying, please save this. Yeah, it's actually going to be saved, and it's going to be on my feed, and also IGTV on Instagram, and then on Facebook, it's going to be in the video section. So make sure that you check that out. But yeah, when you are connected to your soul's destiny, really awakened on that DNA level, fulfilling that, right? That's when it all awakens and comes online. And when one is passive about it, on the other hand, it will not come online. It just won't. And it's not a judgment call on someone's character or anything. It's just, that's the way it is, right? So when you actually embody your purpose, that you're here, your destiny to create, that comes from you making a lot of aligned decisions, a lot of inspired action, and really stepping up in a big way. It's really, that's how it shows up. So the passive stuff, that's like really old paradigm, right? And it's not like even a judgment call on that. It's just what it is, really, right? And here's another aspect of your light worker purpose. It also gets stronger the more action you take on the hits you get, which really resonates with the last point that I was making, is that a lot of light workers come to me and they're just like, well, why am I feeling stuck in this? Or why am I not getting clarity in this? And the truth is, the clarity comes from doing. The confidence even comes from experience. And how do you get experience? From action, right? But a lot of light workers are really scared about that last aspect that I just talked about, is that they get really scared about taking action on these things, because they're just like, well, I'm not perfect. Like I'm not perfectly healed yet, and all this stuff. And that's interesting, because many of you were on my IG story this weekend, and I gave you a little quiz, and it was just really interesting to hear a lot of the results, because what it told me was that there was a lot of misunderstandings around what a light worker is. And I'll share a little bit about that in my feed in this week, because I get to speak into that and provide some clarity for you around that. But one of the things that was really interesting was the question around, I can actually I don't need to be perfectly healed in order to serve in my light worker purpose. And I can't tell you that almost half of you said that's false. Right? And that's really interesting to me, because that's actually true. You don't need to be this perfectly healed being, right? And at the same time, if you are in this highly triggered state, or you've got, you're in this space of victimhood or huge, feeling like a lot of things are not healed yet, and it's really showing up in your life, and you're really in the thick of it, that is when you get to do the work to heal and clear that stuff. Because that would be best, yes, to address that first before showing up in service. But in general, you do not need to be this perfectly enlightened being in order to show up. You just get to show up, right? So that's really, really important. And yes, Blue Rose Energy, as I mentioned earlier, in case for those of you who are just popping in now, the topic is how to know if you're connected to your purpose. And also this recording on Instagram will be up on my feed as well as on IGTV. And on Facebook, it'll be in the video section. So in regards to the Lightworker purpose, and it's just really about making sure that you're stepping up into it, right? And so you don't need to be perfect in order to step up and show up. So if there's a lot of highly triggering things for you, make sure you check that, address it, heal that, clear it up. And so those were kind of my 2, 4, 5 things that are really helpful to know, that when you are connected to your Lightworker purpose, this is how it looks like. And just to recap so far, when I talked about what your Lightworker purpose is not, it's not just love and light. It's not just about, oh, I heal people or I help people, right? Because like I said, all Lightworkers do that. So, and it's also not your day job, unless your day job is directly correlated to your Lightworker purpose. And what your Lightworker purpose is something you can ask your higher self about, which I said I'll speak into that in a moment. And also the specific impact for humanity you're meant to make. So it is specific to you, right? Not like, 10 million people, they all have this, right? I mean, maybe they have a flavor of what you do, but only you can do it the way you do it, right? So also it is aligned with your heart's desire. It's connected to your soul mission. And it gets stronger the more action you take on the hits you get, right? And that's another thing about perfection and Lightworkers, is that they're like, no, wait a minute, I got to wait until this and this and this and all my ducks are in a row. And it's like, that is the fastest way to stagnation. And actually being in perfectionism is another way of procrastinating. That's really what that is. And so, you get to kind of put connect those dots, right? And say, oh, okay, so I'm kind of in that perfectionism mode because I'm procrastinating, right? Because that's really what it is. It's a direct correlation of that. And so when you notice that, that's when you get to make a shift and say, okay, well, what do I want to do that now that I'm familiar with the fact that I'm doing that? You can either continue on that route, which will be a very quick way to stuckness, or you can bust through that and take some action that is inspired and big. And that's when you take those big inspired actions, you either get the result you want or you learn what you need so that you can get the result that you want. So that is so, so important. So here's what Lightworkers can look like. And like I said, it's really shifting and opening, but what it's traditionally looked like is, traditional practitioners and healers, such as those who perform acupuncture, they do medicine work, otherwise known as shamanic healing, Reiki, bodywork, sound healing. They provide spiritual guidance, crystal and plant healing. They can plan retreats and things like that all around the world for healing. And also they are way showers, meaning that they show you the way, right? For some of you, this may be a new term. And Gwendy Girl says, oh my God, yes, I was doing that for so long, shifting now. Yeah, she's referring to, I think, the procrastination piece. And so that's awesome. Great job on shifting that. And that's how quick it is, right? It can be like, oh, shifting that now, right? It can really be just a couple seconds and you're done, right? I know a lot of light workers who are like, no, I need to process. I need to think about it and ruminate for like years and years and years, right? And I was that person, so I can make fun of that a little bit, right? But the truth is that light workers, especially star seeds, you actually can just tap in real quick, be done with it, not make it a long, painful process. And it's really that quick now. And that's why we have this energy into the planet that's coming in right now, and that we can shift it really quick. So yes, traditionally it's looked like healers, practitioners of healing work, sound healing, plant, medicine, crystal ally work, things like that, right? Reiki, energy work. But it's also looked like way showers, those who show you the way, initiators of new consciousness. So maybe they're providing a new perception or a higher perception of consciousness that the planet needs, right? They're also grid keepers of the earth, meaning that they take care of the grids on the planet, and also that they're activators of new earth codes, meaning that they actually, just by their presence alone, activate these new frequencies on the planet just by their presence, and also by being embodied in their presence, because it's not just by kind of practicing it on your own by yourself, right? This is about, they really embody it actively. They're doing that action to step up and step higher, right? They're also gatekeepers of sacred sites or certain portals, right? So that's how they can look as well. But also at the same time, with the way the planetary awakening is happening, a lot of light workers who are still in some of the more corporate fields, who are in media, who are in all walks of life even, are starting to kind of wake up and be like, wait a minute, there's something more than this, right? And they're starting to realize that they got a big purpose. And yeah, and actually it's really interesting. Excuse me. Let's see. Foxy Moon Mystic said, just started following you a few weeks ago. You're amazing. Thank you for being you. So glad to have you here. Rain Woe is saying, I know I need to meditate. Yeah, that's absolutely vital and important, to really get into that higher consciousness frequency and to have a regular practice around it. This person always shares, oh, good, quick is good. Yes, not only is it good, I recommend it highly, because anywhere where you are, still in the whole, I need to process, I need to take time, you are in the procrastination mode and you're not really stepping into your power around things, right? So just notice that, not from a place of judgment, just from a place of noticing what you're choosing, right? That, oh, wow, I'm choosing to be in this place of needing to process. I'm choosing to be in this place of needing to think for a long period of time, right? And the truth is, when you're really connected to these higher frequencies, it's just really quick. And that's why the activations that I do, which is a form of energy, but it's not something that is very, I would say, traditional or even really well known about right now, but it's really tapping into this ascension frequency, these new paradigm frequencies, where it's just very quick. So when I perform activations, it sounds like I'm leading you through a visualization or a meditation even, but I'm actually doing is I'm reconfiguring your timeline. I'm shifting out, old frequencies, bringing in new ones, activating light technology in your brain, things like that. It's just a really powerful accessing that is very quick, and it happens instantaneously. And at the same time, some of the other divine aspects start to click in, right? So that's why the speed is really, really desirable, because your divine power loves speed. Your wealth and abundance loves speed, meaning that when you tap in and you trust your intuition that comes in, you trust it and you take action immediately, and then bam, done, right? I do that all the time now. And I don't even what's the word, ruminate on things. It's very rare when I ruminate on things. And if I do, then I catch myself really quickly and then I make it, I shift that right away. But what I mean by that is that when it comes to an opportunity, it's about you aligning with your intention, your intuition, connecting with your intuition, and your intuition will have a direct response about it, right? Either it's going to open and be like, oh my God, yeah, we got to do this. This is exciting. Or it's going to close up and be like, no, that's not for me. Not feeling this. This is not okay, right? And so you just tap into the frequency real quick, trust it, take action on what is aligned, on what your intuition is telling you to do. And when you act quickly, not only do you get results quickly, so for instance, if it's in regards to an opportunity that might make you money or might provide you money, then it will actually provide you money very quickly, right? When you tap in, trust it, and act on it, right? On the other hand, it's something that if you wait and you wait and you wait, that's actually just fear talking, and that's procrastination. And that's really allowing your fear to lead the way. So there's a difference there. So that said, just to review real quick, light workers can look like those traditional healers, acupuncturists, medicine women, and men, Reiki, bodywork, sound healing, crystal and plant healing. Can also look like way showers, grid keepers, activators of certain codes, gatekeepers of sacred sites and things like that, and keeper of portals. But they're also now in like media and large corporations. A lot of times it's they're awakening now into the fact that they are a light worker, and they're now going to start getting things aligned so that they're living in alignment. So here are my top 3 tips on how to connect with your purpose. So number 1 is that you ask your higher self. And like I said earlier on in this broadcast, I'm not going to be the one to tell you what your purpose is. So if that's going to be like for those people who want to book calls with me to get clarity on their purpose or to find out what it is, figure out your purpose first and then book a call with me, right? Because that is something that is an inside job and that you get to uncover for yourself. And so that begins with asking your higher self. So your higher self is always there for you, of course. And so is your team of light. And here's the thing, they're there to help, and they get even more engaged when you engage with them, meaning you ask them questions, you ask them for help. So your higher self, that could look like just simply saying, okay, higher self, what's my purpose, right? And making sure you're doing that from a grounded place, not like when you're, in the middle of doing 10 million chores and you're frazzled and you're like angry or something like that, right? You do it when you've got a moment to yourself and you're allowing yourself to tap in, and you just tap in with your heart, intend to connect with your higher self, and say, okay, I'm ready to understand. What is my purpose? And then get still, listen. And for those of you who are already connected to their intuition, you might get some information immediately. For some of you who are still kind of like honing your abilities, you might hear some inklings there. But either way, make sure you take a look at the signs that are showing up around you after asking that question. So that could look like repeated, like something on social media that repeats itself. Like, usually for me, it's, once it shows up 3 times for me, I know it's like something, right? Or if I just talked about it and then all of a sudden it's on social media, okay, I'm getting the hint, right? So look for the signs around you, not just on social media, but of course, like when you're going on a walk and a certain type of bird passes by, right? Like notice the signs and notice what medicine those animals or insects are bringing you at that moment. Because every animal or insect that is crossing your path is medicine. They are providing you medicine, right? So notice what signs you're getting, and don't just be like, oh yeah, that was weird. Don't, instead of passing it off as some weird, thing, like notice it and take note, bring it into your heart and connect it to what your soul frequency is and start connecting the dots. Okay, so that's how you start to connect with your higher self on this. And then after you get the information from the signs, from the intel that you're getting from your higher self, then the most important part, taking action on that inspiration. Because it's nothing until you actually take action on the intuition you're getting, right? Because that's something that I share with my clients all the time, is that, it's great when you get intuitive hits, But until you're actually doing something with that and applying it and taking inspired action that is big, based on the intel that you're getting, it's really nothing. It's dead on the floor, right? So you get to take action on the inspiration that you're getting. And once you apply it, that's how you get experience. That's how you get clarity. You don't get clarity, I 100% guarantee it, you don't get clarity from thinking about it. You don't get clarity from processing, right? You get clarity by doing and applying and taking action. Because when you take action, then you get information back about what's working, what's not working. And so, and again, this is not about failure or success, right? Because a lot of light workers do that. And then another layer under that is that they connect their success with their worthiness, right? Which is also not something that you need to do, right? Because just success of attaining your goals is just that, the success of attaining your goals. So that means that something that you're doing is working. If you're not getting to your goals yet, then it's not a failure, it's a learning experience that you're getting information around so that then you can succeed the next time, right? So, I don't really get, wrapped up in the whole failure success dichotomy, because that's about the polarization and the division, which is not what the new paradigm is about, So I hope that helped to really bring some clarity around what it takes to be connected to your light worker purpose and how to know that you are, right? And so when you know that you're connected to your purpose as a light worker, you just know, right? It's not this like someone needs to tell you that you know, right? Because no one can tell you. Because if you don't believe it, then you just don't, right? If you are connected with it, then you just are. So that is how you get to approach this, is really allow yourself to get curious about your destiny and to allow yourself to follow the signs after asking your higher self how to do that. And another aspect too is that a lot of light workers who have been asking me what their purpose is, it's really actually inspired me to help them with creating something. So I made an offering around this just last week for you, for those light workers who are really looking to get a better understanding about who they are as a light worker, about what their abilities are, what they're capable of, what their purpose is. And so this offering is called Unlock the Secret to Your Divine Potential. And I'm going to put it here in Facebook in the comments section so that you can have access to that. Okay, so it's in there now in Facebook. And on Instagram, you can check it out. It's the link in my bio. And make sure you click on that and act on that, because the doors are opening on that today. The doors will be closing on midnight Thursday. So just like 4 days and that it's live, and then the doors close. But what this is that you will get the 5 keys to activating your gifts. It's like a 5-day challenge video gift for 5 days, right? And so it'll help you initiate a deeper understanding on your powerful purpose, how to cultivate it, teach you how to find your voice so that you can be in your fullest expression with ease and grace, and awaken you into accepting and embracing your power so that you live in flow of who you are. So the value of this video training is actually $997. And so I'm actually offering it for just $497. And then I have four bonuses. And they're really, really juicy. So you're going to want to check this out. The first one is How to Embody Your Ascension Power Masterclass. So I talk about how to embody your divine power so that you can move forward towards your destiny on your ascension path, heal and release the blocks that are keeping you stuck in old timelines and belief systems, and away from your divine truth, so that you can reconnect to the power within you and step into your actualized potential. So that was bonus number 1, this masterclass, How to Embody Your Ascension Power. Number 2, that bonus is a Heart Intelligence Awakening MP3. So this recording will unlock the potential of your heart intelligence so that you can source your hidden light and manifest it into reality. And so this you can download, you can take it with you when you jog. Although, I would imagine that you'd probably want to be in a more serene setting to listen to it, but it's yours. Like all of these things will be yours like forever and ever. The third bonus that I have for you is another MP3 called Connecting with Your Future Self. Now, this connecting with your future self, it's something that I do with my private clients, but I created this MP3 so that you can do it for yourself. So basically, it reconnects you with your future self, the version of you. This is not your higher self, by the way, because I saw someone got confused on that in a previous post. Your future self is that version of you who's already completed your soul purpose. And this is, you get to connect with that version of yourself so that you can receive guidance and validation on your path. So the masterclass, the value of that is $497. I'm putting that in for free as a bonus. The Heart Intelligence Awakening MP3 is a $197 value, and I'm just putting that in as a bonus. And the Connecting with Your Future Self MP3, that's also a $197 value, and I'm just throwing that in. And then the last video, so yummy, the Goddess Karma Clearing video. So this video contains a potent healing activation that I lead you through so that it will help you clear karmic ties that no longer serve you or are blocking you from your power, so that your soul is liberated and open to move forward on your purposeful path. So I'm talking about karma clearing on all the levels, okay? It's a really thorough activation and clearing. So, it's so juicy. The value of this video is $397, and I'm just throwing that in as a bonus as well. So all of this you get for just the $497, and so it's gonna be so juicy. And here's what you're gonna get from this offering that I made for you. You will be activated into your soul gifts and awakened into them so that you can help heal the world. You will clear out what no longer serves you so that you can serve at your fullest potential, and you will raise your frequency so that you can maximize your manifestation of divine power into the world. Because that's really what it takes, folks. When you're a light worker and you just start waking up into it, or you're entering into a new chapter of it, it's about really having an understanding of yourself, but it's also about clearing out all the old crap, all of our human stuff, right? And then also raising that frequency so that you can operate and create from that higher level. Because when you operate and create from that higher level, it's like bam, bam, bam. It's very quick. So I'm very excited about offering this to you, because I know it's going to help so many of you to really awaken into the purpose of your power as a light worker, because you get to know what that is, right? You get to know what that is. You get to be awakened into it. You get to have support around, okay, what tools do I need? And then also, how do I keep myself in a higher vibration so that I can be in that frequency that allows me to experience this once and for all, right? And so I put that all in this package. It brings together all of these powerful tools that I thought would really serve you highest. So make sure you hop on that offer today, because that is the doors will be closing in just a few days, and then that's it. So make sure you hop on it. And in the meantime, I hope this was really helpful for you. Just to recap, today's topic was how to know if you're connected to your purpose. I talked about what your Lightworker purpose is not. I talked about what your Lightworker purpose is. I talked about what Lightworkers can look like, what it could look like to be a Lightworker, and also how to connect with it. And one of those tools of how to connect with it being this offering that I just shared with you, that I have in the comments on Facebook, and that I have in my link in my bio on Instagram here. So I hope this really served you. And I see some folks have made some comments here. So I'm seeing that people are asking for some basic definitions. So the truth is that I've mentioned these definitions in previous lives, and rather than taking up the time to re-explain them here, this is something that you can check on some of my posts even. Like there's, in regards to this, the starseed definition, I have a post on Instagram on starseeds. I think that was from, what day was that? I think that was from, hold on. Yeah, July 6th on Instagram. So look for that post from July 6th, which talks about what a starseed is, and that will be there for you. Okay. Andromeda Space Alien, I love that name, asks, are all starseeds lightworkers and vice versa? Well, that's a good question, and I'm going to answer that because it's relevant to this, right? Because I get, there's a lot of confusion around what is this, what is that, am I this, am I that? So starseeds have a mission, right? And that mission is connected to their particular starseed lightworker purpose. Not all lightworkers are starseeds. I would say most starseeds are lightworkers, but I won't say that across the board it's like this, right? Because there are always exceptions. So I think that's it would be safe to say that there's a lot of overlap between starseeds and lightworkers, and there are many starseed lightworkers, like myself, for instance. Okay. So are all starseeds meant to be lightworkers? Well, I can tell you one thing. All starseeds are meant to embody and fulfill their mission. And usually their mission is, because all starseeds, their mission is about elevating the consciousness and raising the consciousness of the planet and raising the consciousness of humanity. And so I would say that's pretty much a lightworker purpose. But in terms of meant to be, that's an interesting choice of words. It just is what it is, right? It is something where it's often connected to being a light worker, but it's interesting. Are all starseeds meant to be light workers? That's an interesting question. Martina's mentioning, please save this live. Yeah, so for those of you who, she's saying, I'm trying to watch, but at the soul-sucking day job. So I hear you, because many of us have been there and done that, myself included, in terms of the soul-sucking corporate job, right? I mean, I'm not going to say that yours is corporate, but that's what mine was, right? And so it's going to be saved. It's going to be on my feed and IGTV. Okay. All right, so I hope that helped, and I think I've spoken to a bunch of your questions. So my encouragement for you today is, if you are seeking some clarity on your lightworker purpose, want to deepen your understanding of your lightworker purpose, say if you are opening into a new chapter, because a lot of you are doing that too. I was just speaking with one lightworker who's kind of been doing healing work for a while, and she's now opening up to a new version, a new chapter in her lightworker purpose. Like, it, to me, honestly, looks like an expansion of her greater and deeper understanding of what she's here to provide in the world. And so if you're in that place too, whether you're at the beginning and want to know what it is, or just want to deepen it, or you're entering a new chapter, or even if this type of work resonates for you, make sure that you hop on this offering that I have, Unlock the Secret to Your Divine Potential, because it's so juicy and chock full of stuff. And it has a lot of tools that you're going to want to source back again and again. And once it's yours for eternity. So I hope that helped you today. And we will be live next week on... Actually, no, not next week, because next week I'm actually going to be at a mastermind, because that's how I do, because I've got my own mentor coach, and that's something that, I'm always recommending light workers to do, is to find a mentor that they resonate with and step up and, get that guidance, because this is not a time to lone wolf it, folks. This is not the time to just figure it out yourself for like 5 or 10 years. This is the time to get the acceleration, the support, so that you can get your results faster and help people faster. That's really what it is about. It's about making that impact faster. So that said, I'm not going to be doing the live next week on Monday the 26th because I'll be in a 2-day mastermind. But the following week on Monday the 2nd of August, can you believe it? I will be having the live at 2 p.m. Eastern US time. Okay, everyone, have a really empowered week full of love, light, and power, and I'll talk to you soon.